guys, welcome back to the 501 Social Podcast. Today we will be talking about social media pros and cons. I will be your hostess today, Jay, joined by Miss Mar.
Hey everyone, this is Renner.
Ray.
Q, what's up, everybody?
Hi, it's B.
We'll be starting off with Renee.
Hey everyone. So I did a little bit of looking into social media and everything of the sort. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Just a little overview quickly on what social media and how it came about. So, well, do you guys know who Aristotle is? Yeah, he was a Greek philosopher, and he said that man is a social animal that needs to interact with other humans to satisfy his or her needs. So, social media, in simple words, social media is a computer-based platform to facilitate the sharing of our thoughts, ideas, information, and to communicate with other people. Social media, as we know it, was officially born in 1997. So that's basically just an overview of social media. And also, in 2005, social media was in its infancy, and about 5% of users in the US actually used it. And when the research was done over, and it was actually done by Pew, that's P-E-W, Pew Research Center. They did it again in 2019, and that number had grew to about 70%. So it went from 5% of users in 2005 to 70% in 2019. Now, some of the platforms that we have for social media is like YouTube, Facebook, we have Snapchat, Instagram, and the fastest growing one right now is TicTok. So those are just a basic overview of social media. So for ages 13 to 17, 97% of everyone within that age range, 97% of them use at least one of the 7 major social media platforms. Time spent on it goes for ages 13 to 18, it goes 9 hours, and ages 8 to 12 goes 6 hours.
That's per day?
Yeah, per day, spent on one of the major platforms. So when I did my sitting down and I'm looking at it, I said, what were some of the pros? Some of the pros were you get to stay connected. You get to stay connected with people that are not very close to you, like physically. You get to stay connected with them. You have quick access to info. It's convenient for paying bills and doing banking. You could do online learning. Content discovery, involvement in civil engagement. It's a great marketing tool. Opportunities for remote employment. Cons of it is people get to lose sight of what is real and what is fictional. So there is a dichotomy between reality and the online structure that gets lost. And there is dependency and increased usage. That is one of the cons of it as well. People get dependent on it. And also there is the social media is addictive, meaning that it creates chemicals in your brain that gives you a high whenever you see things you enjoy, or you post something online and you get likes and comments on it. It gives you a chemical reaction that makes you feel good. And that can be very scary, because if you don't get those likes and those comments, that's where it leads to a lot of mental problems, especially for the young youths that grow up and they can't differentiate between reality and just the online realm. And then it also causes self-image issues because they see these pictures of these beautiful people online and everything of the sort, and they actually they feel ashamed of themselves because they don't look the way these people look, things of that sort. So when I was sitting down, I just wanted to give an overview of what social media was and give some of the pros and the cons, and we'll have an open discussion about it. But for me personally, I feel as if there's good and bad with social media. It depends on the person using it and what they're using it for. But my stance on it is like anything. Anything could be good or it could be bad. It depends on the person using it. Take alcohol, for example. That could be good or it could be bad. The thing is, it could create relaxation for someone after a long week of work and everything of the sort. But similar to social media, if you become dependent on it, it's a bad thing because then you start to put it ahead of things that shouldn't be, that should be ahead of that. Guns could be used for protection of the people you love and your household items, but in the wrong hands, it also is bad. So that's the way I look at social media. I don't look at it as a bad thing or a good thing. When we have our discussion right now, I know that we'll have a little back and forth, and I don't think my opinion on it will change, but we'll see how it goes from there. But that's just what I wanted to do to start. I just wanted to give an overview and just put some bullet points out there.
Wow, that's really good. I really love how you gave a lot of pointers, information. You really informed us on everything on social media, and I think it will help all of us to really think about what we really want to say on social media. Who else wants to give their little input on it?
I mean, I can go. This is Q. What's up, everybody? The thing with social media for me, it's all right. My one of my favorite shows right now, just finished it, was Seinfeld. Okay, so this was the sitcom of the 90s, the best show on TV. And I watch these guys, and I notice everyone in the show had a television. That's what we were watching. That's what we had in our house, in our living rooms. We were keeping up with news, keeping up with our sitcoms, keeping up with our sports. Everything that is entertaining was on the tube TV. And of course, we stepped into the 21st century. And since then, we've basically have a TV in our hands. If my grandmother was alive, God rest her soul, she would be shocked. TV was already a mind-blowing device for her. She didn't know about those things. Back then, it was storytelling. So I grew up with a TV. A TV is now obsolete. If you think about it at your home, it's obsolete. Everything is your Wi-Fi. Everything is internet. Everything is on the web. Social media now gives us a platform. I'm serious. There are more entertaining people on social media than there are on TV at this point. Disney, the shows back in the days with That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, those two, even Stevens, those shows could steal the show now. Now I don't even know what's on Disney anymore because I don't watch Disney TV anymore. But I know what's on Disney Plus. That's a streaming service. And they give you now the opportunity to look back on old TV shows, You have Netflix. This is also part of media. They advertise. They do one of the biggest advertising. When they have a show, they put together a collage of all the movies they're gonna have for the year that's gonna put it out. You don't see that advertisement on TV. You see it on the web. You see it on when you're scrolling on the Facebook. So you get information through social media. The cons of it now, of course, you can't stop an idiot from doing something heinous or doing something disgusting. These people are already out there. In your mother's generation, your mother's generation, they have been around. But no, because we can see things, people, it's so easy. You don't have to use a big video camera anymore. You can just pull your cell phone out. A budgeted 185, and you can be a socialite. As in, you can make a video and it can pick up steam. You understand? So for me, I see there's more pros than cons. The cons, yes, the generation, they're more attached to their devices than anything else. You can see it in the kids that they don't go out and play. But I think that's just the parent not parenting in a way, because I was growing up, they had video games. I could be glued to the TV. Not to my phone, not to my tablet, but I could have been glued to my TV and stayed in my house and didn't go outside and exercise and stuff like that. So if you're facing that problem, that's a problem for any generation, no matter if it's social media or not attached to it. But yes, there are some people that do explicit things on the devices, and it's out there and kids can see it. But once again, it comes back to the parental guiding that the kid is receiving. I know that there's so many adult supervision control or something like that on different devices. So you can keep your kids in line. You can know what they're watching, what they're downloading. They can't download some stuff if you have a feature that they can't download apps without you knowing. But I think it's more pros. Pros is people are making themselves, how can I say it? But they're their own sales, like they're making themselves out there. They're putting themselves out there. Businesses are seeing them and say, oh, she looks pretty. Oh, he's handsome. We can get this guy to model our stuff. One of the biggest demonstrations I've seen it on TV is the Beats by Dre. When I was growing up, I saw the NBA players wearing these headphones. I wanted it. I want the Beats by Dre. I want the tennis that he's wearing. So how do we get to see it? We get to see it through social media. So that's one of the biggest pros. It keeps money. It's marketing in a sense. Then I get my news through it. That's I see only pros. Then the cons, there are always gonna be cons. I don't think we should say that. Oh, let's go on like George Price and let's just ban it and let's not have it in Belize. He wanted to ban the TV from reaching Belize. That wouldn't have stopped anything. We can be. For lack of a better word, stupid and think that if we just destroy all the phones that it's not gonna solve anything. People are still savages, people are still ruthless and stuff without a cell phone or with. Back then they had 2 wars. We still haven't had World War III and there's no social media back then, but it still went to war. So social media is probably saving us. Look at how fast we saw the Russian invading the Ukraine, how fast we got to see that. If this was in primitive time, we would be getting that information now. And what? You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say we have to just keep looking at the pros. I know we're going into this new modern era that there's no longer going to need money. We're not going to have carry change on us. We're just going to be beaming our money to other people through our devices. Everything, we're going to be so connected that if someone says, I don't have a cell phone, what? So, it's just pros for me. That's all I see when it comes to social media. And then I do know there's an algorithm. So what you do follow, what do you do like, what you share, what you comment on, these are the things that will be steadily coming your way. So if you're only into Christianity stuff, that's all you'll be getting. But if you do click on a link or you do comment on something or you do like something or you share something, then you'll be getting these different stuff coming your way. So like I say, it's just monitoring what's wrong and what you don't like, what you dislike and what you like, Yeah.
Thank you, Q. That was really good. You brought out you spoke about the media side of social media.
Oh.
That I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Mar, would you like to take?
Yeah, I like the background that these gentlemen brought up. It really sets me up now. Makes my what I have to say, a little easier because now we have an idea what we're discussing here and what we're sharing on. And me, for one, it's a bittersweet thing for me too, right? In the sense that I wish I could only see the good things about social media. I wish, and in fact, what this is about now is you can embrace only the good of social media. You can do that. You can really shut down. You see what is happening now in our society because of this social media. We're having a lot of anxiousness now because it's right. Even when we are working, a beep goes off. Hey, breaking news, it's right there in our face at the very instant, sometimes right at the very minute we're seeing the person either dying or getting shot.
And that's a pro or a con.
It's an accident. To me, I'm stressing here that it could be either way. You could have been a family to that victim, and again, because of social media, maybe you could save that person's life by you seeing it right away, you being there. The police would know where to go right away. They know exactly where the location is. So it is not, to me, I'm not seeing social media. I think Renee mentioned it earlier, that it depends on you, on that moment, in that instant, what is happening. Is it a pro for you or a con for you? One spell it will be a pro, today it might be a con, right? Mm-hmm. So it is a very, very, how you call it, complicated, how we are embracing it. There's no, what I'm going to understand by the end of the night, the pros and the cons, there are no setbacks on it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and it's bad at the same time. But this, where I'm telling you this is bad, but we can find beauty out of it. I remember the first time I got my phone with WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was my first step to getting the other social media platforms, which includes Telegram,
Instagram,
and all the others. But when I got that, I was like amazed that we can have a group of people in a one phone call, in a one thought, in one conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
And it makes our life a reality show every day. You might not know this, but we can video and record our reality shows every day in our own homes. Do you understand? Every time you put on a phone and have a recording, that's a reality going on. You never need to get your own crew like the Kardashians. You have it right here, right now. And that is why the Kardashian one spell, they were the biggest as far as I know. And not that maybe I followed them a couple episodes back, a couple of years ago or more. But now they're like, I have too many Kardashian, I can't even keep up with my own. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Kardashian is now something from the past for me, and nobody's really into that because what? Social media now allow them. We are so overwhelmed, we don't even know that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We are so overwhelmed with social media, and this way when they brought up, it can be addictive. You see how long the kids are on it, and I think 6 hours. I think it's more. I think 6 hours.
That's why I said it. It comes down to poor parenting once again, because I could have stayed on my video game for a day, but my parents would. How long have you been on it? Get off. Go and do your homework, or get to your chores, or I don't want to see you on that thing till tomorrow.
Well, the good thing about some parents, their kids are already adults like mine. So I am so happy I don't have that kind of parental,
that you have to be behind.
I'm so happy.
But that's why every generation has a different problem that they have to face.
And this one, I'm happy to know that I don't have to be monitoring. I'm sorry for the parent that has to be monitoring, and not only monitoring them, but even the husband, what he's looking on so late at night.
But that's his personal business.
So this is where I'm called. This is the con about it.
I hope if he's getting monitored by his wife, he's monitoring his wife also.
Exactly, but it allows you to. This is really, really something that you can embrace. That could be that good or bad. I'm embracing the good out of it. I'm trying to ignore it. I'm trying not to use this platform for anything bad. Then
I do know, like in like you see, like with personal beefs, as in it's much easier now.
Oh
So I do see like for the police officers how it's troubling because basically you can go on the internet and threaten someone. They're trying to crack down right now and finding ways to stop fake profiles and stuff. I don't see how they're gonna do it. That part is stupid. That part I have to say is very.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Victor, if we never had social media in this time, how it will be difficult to get cracked down on anything? To me, the social media has opened up the loopholes. It had filled in the gaps.
No, because then we will still be dealing with the television. That's why I explained to you. The reason I brought up Seinfeld in my thing was because that's all they had. I saw that through a 90s TV show. That's the first time I've ever saw a 90s TV show. There's so many other TV shows that came before, like Friends, and you can name a whole bunch of shows. But I'm saying that for them, that was a thing that they're always watching on TV or they're at Blockbuster renting a VHS. I mean, we've come so long. So saying that, imagine if we didn't have social media, then we will also be relying on the television once again, on the radio. So there. No, imagine your mom's time that there wasn't any of these stuff. Then Christ.
There is a storm coming and where it is. You can quickly find out if there is something next door happening. It's quicker. No, I remember that fire. I mean, it was right across from me and I didn't even know. But I knew immediately from the phone that I had. It came up through the Facebook. I mean, these things are so... I embrace it with a lot of happiness in the sense that you can be there on the spot, catching it, the culprit on the spot, seeing. I mean, how many fights we have seen where who was wrong, who went first, who threw the first punch. I mean, this is amazing. How right now if something is happening out there, we can actually go with our cameras. People are doing that right now with their little, small, inexpensive phone. Do you understand what it has a camera? So that is where I am. And then the beauty about what I really want to say is that everything else is at our fingertips, in the sense that now the Bible, the scriptures, this is Christianity now. I am telling you the Christian world because I'm a little more inclined over there right now, and I never thought that we would be able to, that COVID would have been able to stop us, because remember we couldn't do any kind of gathering, right? And Christianity, the Christian groups used to gather for their meetings, for their fellowship, for their prayer group meetings and stuff like that. And now when it became a virtualness, when we started to do it virtually, how is it that we managed to reach everyone? Nobody had to leave their homes because we had to be at home. We had to stay home. We were locked down. Yes, we were locked down physically, but what? We had Zoom. Zoom came from out of nowhere, and I love the name because Zoom in right away and hurry fast. It came in a minute. How it was introduced to the as another platform, right, Renee?
All these things already existed, you know, but
yes, but it was never like being used.
Everybody had to get their Skype and Zoom license,
and you know,
and become their own technicians at home.
2 years before COVID, about 2 years before COVID, I was me and my group we were invited to join a program in the Antilles with the group of the Episcopal in the Antilles to learn to do this virtualness. I thought, why, you know? And I took the course, and like many of us, we got our certificate in the virtual program. Never knew that there would have come a time 2 years later when COVID came that we had to embrace the Zoom, the program. We had to implement it quicker because our Pope was saying that we need to reach people. It was like a way to outreach. You know what I mean? We need to reach people. We need to be evangelizing with people who cannot come to church, who cannot come to the city, who cannot come to a group meeting. Never knew that through COVID we had to reach out that way. So I am one of those who are grateful for social media, for the platforms and the different ones being embraced right now. because it cured a lot of hopelessness, a lot of not being, people were seeing their church services over the phone, their masses, even though we as Catholics knew that to be present in the church is better than through the waves, you understand? Yeah. Through the airwaves. So I am telling you that I see the pros and cons about it, but I am embracing only the pros. I try not to use it for anything bad. And anytime something bad, I remember the other day my daughter showed me something bad, and I told her, "Why are you, I could have that you could have spared me that. I don't need to see that." Do you understand? So what I'm saying here is that if you want to see bad, you will find bad through these platforms. But just like that, you can see good. There's many good going on right now, and that's what I am embracing. So for me, I'm embracing it only for the pros. The cons is beside the point for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mar.
So let me just jump in real quick. I got 2 points that I want to touch on. Well, basically like 3 points that I want to touch on as a combination of what Victor and Ms. Mar was saying. Now, we were saying that, there is good and bad. We keep saying there's good and bad, there's good and bad. But at the end of the day, some things that you guys take for good can also be used for bad. What I mean was, for example, Miss Mar said that she was astounded that when WhatsApp was installed on her phone, that, you could have a group of people in this group and you could get, but that could be used for real bad stuff. Because at the end of the day, you could send misinformation without proper research out to the masses, and they could take that because it's coming from someone, oh, this is someone I trust, this is a family member, but they just grabbed it from somewhere random, didn't do any research into it, sent it out, create hysteria among the family members that don't do their research either. Also, everyone has their phone, but then you see, everyone is not a professional journalism. Everyone won't report the things accurately. And then from there, that is very dangerous because if you just put a picture up there, it can be interpreted badly. You can see someone shooting someone, but you didn't see what happened prior to that. But then you tarnish that person's reputation because the part of the video you put on showed this person shooting someone, but we didn't know what happened before it. And you see, this is what I mean. Everyone is not a professional journalism. They won't say, oh, this guy did this, and that was why that altercation with the shooting happened. And no, they will just put it up there, and then the masses will see it and be like, that guy just shot someone, not knowing the full story. And then from there, Victor then touched on, he said that, there's good and there's bad, like he said. And then from there, he focuses on the good, but he knows that there's bad, but he looks at it as good. And that's something very scary because if we remember the Industrial Revolution, everyone saw how the world was progressing and said, that was good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Are we seeing what those Industrial Revolution has done to our climate? Are we paying attention to the global warming? Oh, but we're advancing the planet, but with no repercussion for a long-term disaster. Yes, the Industrial Revolution was very good, but do you see now how much we're suffering from global warming, how much we're suffering from climate change because of those advancements that we had at that particular time? Mm-hmm. Now, that is why I want to pump my brakes and temper social media. I don't want to beat the drum and say, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good, because we don't know the long-term ramifications of what is happening. Like, I am 50-50 on the fence when it comes to social media. I do see there's good, but I see also the picture where it could get very, very scary if it's not monitored properly. And then who does the monitoring? Because we don't want government officials to start do monitoring, because then it becomes a dictatorship and they tell you what you can post on social media and what you can't. But who does the monitoring? And that's where the problem then lies. I just wanted to touch on these little points that
So,
you guys
all right,
brought up.
with that being said, what do you think would be the worst thing that can happen with social media progresses as it is? It's not slowing down. If anything, right now, I was shocked when they told me that I was like, I was on Facebook the other day, and they're like, you still on Facebook? It's that Facebook is like, it's considered old now, you know? I think it's over 10. I'm not too sure. I'm not a big social media person. I am on social media platforms, but I don't post. I don't make people know what my thoughts are. I'm not one of those persons. If I do, I would want to put it in some form of art so that people can see my thought through that process. Not venting. Venting, I believe venting you can do on like a positive way, like social, like on a podcast. That's what we're doing here. Like majority of the stuff that we're doing is venting and sharing our views. You can do it in many positive ways. There was this disgusting video that I watched with this young lady, and she was saying a lot of profanities, like, but she had on like a headset, like she works at a car company, you know, and she was talking about, and she even went as far as talking about some man and her and his mother, and that he talks to his mother about her, and he says, but you don't talk about when you're giving me fellatio, and I'm like, what? No. Yes, that is that's a negative part for social media, right? But that's why I said that there's already these sick freaks that are walking about doing much more worse things before social media ever occurred. You know, think about it. I'm a big serial killer. I into like serial killer stuff, right? So I know about Ted Bundy. I know about I don't know go further than Ted Bundy. Like Ted Bundy. Make you take Ted Bundy for example. If social media was around, he would have gone live and showed us what he did and what he's doing.
He would have been caught earlier too.
So that's one of the that's one of the bad side of it. But don't you think if somebody had some kind of social media back in the time that Jesus walked, and we could have seen the many things that he could have actually done and had evidence for it, I think that would be a pro. It wouldn't be a con, right? So it's like a thing. We're here now, and yes, like Renee said, but I'm asking what would be the ultimate failure. Are we talking about like a Terminator in a Terminator world that the AIs are going to become and just destroy humanity or something?
Looking at it like from artificial intelligence taking over. But like you said, you see, we're fans of some weird stuff. I think everyone around this table has some weird stuff that they're into. Like you said, I'm a fan of serial killers as well. Not like a fanatic, but I love reading and...
Yeah, let's clear that up. I think we came off wrong. I'm not like a fan of them. Like I approve of them, but
analyze what they do. But
I found it interesting. I like documentary stuff.
Exactly.
I like
that is what
the paranormal stuff.
Find it intriguing how they could have.
Yes, I don't practice any of the stuff or anything like that, but I do watch it. I think everybody loves a little scary movie now and then. So, you know, for go back to what Renee was saying with the whole serial killer stuff, we just watch it. I can't help it, but I think everyone, what's going through their mind?
Yes.
That's the thing. What is going through their mind?
I get what Renee is trying to say. I don't think he means like the robotic side of the. But
no. I'm not
because-
saying that out of jokes. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying. He's saying that, you see, with the whole industrial stuff and that it's the shorter climb. What will social media bring to us? Are we going to be brain damaged? Are we going to be brainwashed?
Because that, like, you threw it out there, but something to that effect. Because younger and younger people look at it, and their mind is being molded by information that is not being.
But that's what I'm
filtered.
saying,
But
really, that the
it
parent would have
comes
to
down
be.
parenting. But then when parents grew up on social media, their child will even take it a step further. Because some parents grew up on typewriters, their children grew up on computers. Now, imagine what the generation that comes after will be growing up on.
I heard it somewhere that the people that say that we're the final generation.
Well,
Because think about it, what would blow your mind? I asked this question already. What would blow your mind at this point? Like if I showed my grandmother computers, phones, her mind is blown. She never thought about it in that time.
Yes,
What
yes.
is the step that you can say right now? And if I say spaceship, no, I already have an idea about a spaceship in my head.
You know what would blow
Aliens,
my
I
mind?
already have aliens in my head.
I'm sure Rene's parents may have told him about it, and my parents, and I'm telling you this, you all really know about the 3-6. They said they will. You remember, I grew up with that in my past, that my mother told me, don't let them tag you, don't, because everybody will soon have a serial number. You know, I mean, when you start to think that cash will no longer be in existence, but we'll have a digital world, we'll be able to have our money on our phone, and you can charge it and just put it there. You put it on a scanner. Do you know where we're getting at? We're getting at a point now, and this is where it's become scary for me. Like, what's the worst scenario? It really looks like it's coming to pass. That it's going to be there. We're going to reach.
We're tracked no matter what through our IP addresses. This is the reason why right now there's a crackdown on child pornography. As you click on it, you can even be interested in it. You understand? You can click on something by mistake. That's why you have to be very careful. But then at the same time, people do click on these stuff by mistake, and there's someone to monitor the amount of time that they took on their website. But if you're looking up clearly something that you shouldn't be looking up, because if you go on the web, there's even a back end page that is called the dark web. On that you can find many things that you wouldn't find on the.
Well, my opinion on this whole social media and pros and cons, because everyone brought different aspects of it. Like you, Q brought about media, Rene brought like very informative information, and then Miss Mar brought about communication, which, as you can see, there's a lot of things that social media can do, right? To me, I see more cons on social media than pros. But that's because I've seen a lot of negative things happen because of social media. I've seen a lot of suicide happen because of social media. A lot of, like, when Facebook started up, you should have seen a lot of young girls' nudes being exposed because she didn't want to go out with this guy. But I know what you're saying, that maybe it's because the parents weren't
No,
monitoring.
I wasn't gonna go only parents, Jay, but if you take a picture and you send it to someone, you have to be ready. The repercussions are that. That is the only repercussions. There is no such thing as I take a naked picture and I become the president of the United States, or I become the prime minister. There is no positive coming out of something negative.
You notice
such
now
as
that social media now has brought up the rates of anxiety, people having anxiety up, because now that we have that knowledge of, if we send a picture like that, even if we're probably dating this guy for 4 years, 5 years, right? And we send them the news because we're like, oh, this guy, we can trust him. You know, it even goes towards guys sending girls nudes, right? Takes one bad day for this guy maybe to cheat on his girl, or this girl cheat on this guy, nudes are out. After that whole 5 years of trust gone. So that's what I'm telling you right now. Social media has brought up the rate of suicide, depression, anxiety up. There is a lot of cons, like how Miss Mar said and how you said that.
Okay, so let me just, because I'm a heckler. So let's say the person now that is getting anxiety from social media, that is getting bombarded by messages and stuff from the people because they saw her naked picture or his naked picture.
Well, it doesn't have to be the person, you know. It could be like...
I'm not going to curse. I was going to curse, but why the hell doesn't the person just stay off social media then?
No, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the behind-the-scene people.
If you go in the
who
ring, if you go in the UFC cage and they kick your ass, they beat the shit out of you, why would you get back in? Why? You already knew what this dog is about. You went on social media, you did explicit stuff, the repercussion.
But like how
Is
Renee said,
No.
right now social media is showing that, oh, if you show a little,
Well, Jay, it's about you having to have control of yourself, your mind, your heart. So if you know that you're getting all this from social media, why the hell would you keep
because there's
going
not a lot
on
of people
to it?
that think like you and I or everyone
But-
in this group. There are people who
You
just
see, the thing is, as well.
I see your point because that's what's catching the girl
The
Kardashian
thing-
of her famous video from way back.
The thing as well is this. It's like, but it's like this. It doesn't really have to be. It really doesn't have to be something explicit. These people look at these other people that post, these socialites that post these things, and they see all the comments, the likes, and everything of the sort. And when they post their thing, it doesn't even need to be something explicit. They post something just harmless, something just to post something up there, but they don't get any likes.
Yeah.
They don't get any comments. Then some of them are not strong-minded like some of us around this table. They don't have that mentality. They then become depressed. They then become suicidal. Like, no one loves me. No one this. No one that. But you see, that's the type of person, the mentality. But you see, it's not just explicit photos. It's
Those
just-
people existed before. Those people.
Yeah, but social media.
Those people are the
really
stalkers.
stretched it.
Those are the people that go and visit their celebrity crush, meet him, shake his hand, and shoot him. These are the people that go into high school and shoot them. This is what I'm saying. These different issues and different problems that they're already experiencing, it's already there.
But you
they
notice
already
that
have it. Social media isn't
social
the
media has
fact.
brought up like shooting school as cool now. Like
I
now
don't know.
they
I don't know
have
if you
the
ever did
songs
it like
the
that.
pumped up
I don't know
kids,
about.
everything like that.
Yeah, but
They have.
No. But there's music. There's music way
Because
way
there's some
before
people
that talks about
actually
different stuff.
sexualize serial killers. Like when they have it on social media, like, oh my god,
Okay,
It's
I saw
yeah,
because I know Ray is anxious to go, but I saw a song right with the different people reacting to this harmless song that you never think would be about the coward of the county, right? So in it, I saw the guys. It was a lady and it was a gentleman, and they were watching the video and they were like, when the part came, when Kenny Rogers said, the Gatling boys came calling, and it was 3 of them. So if you don't know, if you're living in some kind of small, simple, they raped the girl, 3 of them. They couldn't even like that. They were enjoying up to the song because remember it's a catchy beat. Promise me son not to do. You know the okay. So they enjoyed the whole song up to that point, and I watched them, and they never enjoyed the song after that point. No matter how the song went, when they at the end, I promise you that to do the things I've done, walk away from trouble when I can. But sometimes you have to fight to be a man. Like, So that's what I'm saying. Like you brought up pumped up kids. Music from way back then. They're talking about different issues. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to show you.
I just think everyone has different opinions on social media. I mean, I'm more of the cons because, like I said, I haven't experienced it. I've seen some of my close friends going through a lot with social media, right? So that's what made me, as you can say, headstrong, not to do something dumb, like not to post
And have
myself.
you ever tried to advise them and tell them to just take a fucking break off the social
To
media?
be honest, my friends, their moms are like middle age, so they kind of grew up on when the
I think all
internet
our moms
started.
are middle ages right now.
No, but there's some mom who actually love social media and they influence their daughter to do it. Like I have a friend,
I've only seen it in movies. I haven't met
I won't
real
mention her
people.
name, but she's like she's into modeling and stuff. She, like how Renee said, social media to her is addictive. Like every time you go on her page, what she ate,
lot of
what she's
selfies,
doing.
huh?
She
But
has
that's
her-
why
you know?
I think the person is making themselves the business. That's what I'm trying to say. If you are into making yourself a business, because I have friends that have made it through that they're actually ambassadors for different companies. They're models for different clothing line and different vitamins and stuff. I've had friends that have reached this level. They're not making it like how in America, but that's their image. They have to start take care of their body and different stuff like that.
Like right now, Vivi
But-
and I, we're watching a show that kind of shows a little con of social media, right, Vivi? With just this one lie, because you can't, like, let's say Miss Mar hears a lie about me, right? No one else knows. I can come and tell her, you know, Miss Mar, it's not true. Okay, I convince her it's not true. But let's say everyone, even the neighbor over there, hears the lie. How can I show them the evidence that I'm innocent? You know?
Let me give you
So-
the secret of life when it comes to this. What everyone thinks about you is none of your fucking business.
But it's hard because
No, it's not.
Vivi
It's
and
no,
I-
it's not. No,
Vivi
it's
and I
not.
were watching a show where someone who was jealous of this girl posted a picture saying that she's dating this guy and this other guy at the same time. She feels good because her friends, they don't believe it, right? But it still hurts because there are people talking behind her back.
Okay, well then get new friends. What you feed your mind and what you start to believe, is what you're starting to perceive, and what you start to perceive is what you start to show. So that's why I'm telling you, what you put in your mind. If you said what all these people in this room, I'm gonna tell you this right now. 9 out of 10 people in this room, if there were 10 people in this room, probably 9 of them wouldn't like me. I have no problem with that. And if it's a 10 for 10, I would take that as an achievement because I know I'm finally pissing everybody off. But if you go around and say, I want to be your friend, I want to be everybody's friends, and then when you're not everyone's friend and you go, oh, then you know
But that's
what?
easier said than done. That's you.
You
But there's other
need to
people who are
start
weak.
changing your
There are people
mindset.
who are weak-minded. They can't deal with that.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If a muscle is weak, you have to exercise it. You have to gain strength.
Comes in. This is where a lot of things can play a part in your life to bring you up. But I can see where he's coming back. You
Yeah.
want to be part of this game, you gotta
Have
it out.
thick skin.
You have to not worry what people would think about
I've
you.
been on
But that's
Facebook
also-
and Instagram, Twitter, and I've barely voiced my opinion.
Earlier, this was not on the podcast, but me and Q, we had a discussion earlier, and that's where it stemmed from when I asked, like, who polices it? If you guys can recall, there was a mass shooting recently in the U.S. The kid live streamed the killing in the mall on Twitch and posted it on Facebook. Twitch took it down in a couple hours because of the content. But Facebook, up until when I saw the report, which was a couple days ago, I'm not sure if it has changes yet. I didn't go back and check, so I can't say if it has changed. But up to when I watched it a couple days ago, Facebook was fighting to not take down the post because it was not a breach of their terms and conditions. So they would rather keep a mass shooting there than censor someone, because that's what Elon Musk is trying to say. Elon Musk is saying, you know what, we need more freedom. We are being too restricted. So, but
If you go on Facebook, I've seen on Facebook and I've shared to many friends and stuff, like there's these gang shooting, these gangs drive by. So there's killing on there. Now, when you came to the live streaming of the Twitch and different stuff, that's the service. That's what they provide. That's what it's created for, right? No, to battle that issue, I think the American public, they need to address their gun laws. That has nothing to do with Twitch, nothing with Facebook. Can you in here at Belize, in Belize, can you, 18 years old, order a gun online and wait for it to be shipped to you? Or can you go to a gun store and the gun store be like, it's going to take about 3 days first. There's not that hearing that's not here in Belize. But what I'm trying to say, the gun laws over there. Why is it that we're hearing only all the time we're hearing about the mass shooting? It's just there. When we hear about the assassination, the terrorism and stuff like that blowing up, it's a bomb. It's a homemade bomb. You don't hear them going to kill. That's why I'm saying that song's more. I'm not trying to song biased. That's an American gun law problem.
So
they
I
need
guess
to address
we get
that.
you're more of the pros. Renee and I are more of the cons. And
I don't
Ray,
see-
what are you?
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Let's hear what you have to say, cause
Well, guys,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, there is pros and cons, but I believe Miss Mar and all of you guys quite touched it. It's a bit of a individual opinion, your individual moral compass.
We're not here to say what side we're taking or like if social media is wrong or right. We're just giving our insight to it. That's why so we're not trying to say pick a side. We're not trying to tell you pick a side.
Yeah, and like say, it's an individual standpoint. I'm all for social media in the sense of communication, connecting, getting your news. I actually think it's a great marketing platform, and I believe Victor touched on it earlier. It's a great marketing platform. I'm all for it in those aspects, but me being the word, I believe it's anachronistic, somebody that's outside of their time period, basically, I touched on it in like 2 different episodes. I can't stand the egotistical, self-centered mind state of today's society. And social media, that's where it stems from. And I'm not on it, because I'm not a person that has anything to market. I'm not an artist. I'm not an entrepreneur at the moment. So I simply don't need to be on it. I've always had this state of mind of who the hell am I? Why would people be interested in my interests, my music taste, my experiences, I've heard about it. Oh, we're not bragging, we're sharing an experience. It's your experience. Why do we need to know your experience?
So that's why it comes to what Jackie said with her friends, what they're experiencing. If you put yourself in a line of fire, you will be fired upon.
like I literally missed the when we used to take pictures and we have to wash it. I think.
Print it?
Yeah, because like I have pictures in my phone. I lost my phone and now all the pictures are gone. And
But
yeah.
Ray brought up a very
Ow.
important point, in the sense that it's all about if all of us were the same, if all of us had the same
Yeah,
characteristics.
and that's another issue.
Totally.
It's I'm not for it because I feel it. You guys call them socialites. The term is influence, and the thing is, it's influencing people. There's hardly any individuality now because everybody wants or claims to be an individual on it.
Well, I guess that's the reason why the cancel culture, as they call themselves, I think that's the reason why they have now risen from the dusk in a kind of way or the dirt, because I went to my sister because, like I said, I'm not a big social person. Like, unless it's something that I follow. I'm a big sports person. I'm news, but like social trends, they don't find their ways to me, like the words and different stuff. So there's a cancel group, and they go around canceling people. So if you don't know what it means by canceling, as in if you say something wrong that they don't agree with, then you are destroyed. You are like what Jay says, that
support individuality, but if you do not agree with the status quo, you're not a.
one of the persons that was cancelled recently on Twitter was I think everyone knows Donald J. Trump. He was cancelled. So like, we don't like. They're basically saying that we don't want to hear you anymore. We are like they're talking for us and say that we're disgusted by you. So you have to be careful about the things you say, the different topics that you agree, or different positions that you stand for, and different
And
things.
this is where
Yeah.
he said
But who
Elon
gives
have
them
no,
the right? Who gives them the right
Yeah.
to police it?
And that's
It's you
the point, you know. You said it here. The cancel culture,
Yeah.
and you can't agree with it, and those things, you know. How can you cancel someone's opinion? How can you tell somebody their moral stance may not be right?
Right
I'm
now,
gonna say it may not be right, but it is still their right to feel that way.
I have friends and I have cousins, right? They can come and they can talk about a lot of bull when it comes to basketball. And I can find what they're saying a mute conversation, as in they're talking something that I just don't want to hear. So now to go back to what Renee is saying, how do they police that? Like I'm saying, the mob, you forgot that was the ultimate form of justice. When back in the old days, they would put the woman, she just commit adultery, put her against the wall and stone her to death. The people did that, not the police, the people. So who gives them the right? I don't know. But they have a formation and they are like on it. I don't know if they have people behind computers.
This is scary because this is really the last generation for through the way things are going.
That's what when I said the last, someone said it. I'm not too sure where I heard it. But the reason why they said it is because every problem humanity will encounter is no. There is nothing that we're not going to. There's nothing that my generation, my children's generation, or that they're gonna have that's gonna blow my mind.
I really like how this little debate on social, because everyone brought out different, like, you know,
It was supposed to be
media.
a conversation, not
Yeah,
a
it's like a
debate.
little conversation, but it ended up like a little debate, you know? Yeah, because we're bringing up different aspects, different opinions. And you know, I'm very excited for Vivi to give a point because I think she's more into the social, because I know she's into
So
Twitter.
just to give like the listeners a little bit of Ray and Vivi are younger
Yeah.
our members, yeah. So
Yeah.
they for this sake of this conversation, they wanted to go later on, you know. So
Well, hi guys. I think I bring a very different aspect from everybody around this table. Being the only Gen Z at this table. If you don't know what Gen Z is, look it up.
Social media.
So for me, I think a lot of the table, even though they were like, oh, I see the positive, I think a lot of the table touched on the negative. We know the negatives. And I think the negatives would still be happening without social media. And that's just the truth. The only thing social media does is gives you awareness of the situation. But it would still be happening. Think about it. Our most notorious serial killers didn't have social media. And they still did that shit. So therefore, social media...
Social media would have made it a whole lot easier for them to do their job.
Exactly. Going back to positive.
Definitely. No pun intended.
That's what they do.
I am I'm on a lot of social media. I think I'm very active on social media. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm not really on Facebook, but I'm on Instagram. You know, I've had Tumblr, I've had High Five, I've had all these stuff. And I think for me, and I think a lot of people, we touched that, I think social media is a lot on your personal experience of social media. And for me, I found a sense of community on social media. Meaning, a lot of young people who are, may feel like a little bit of an outcast and like nobody really gets them around their immediate circle. Yeah. they go on social media and find people who are interested in the same thing. And of course, you can look at it in the weird way or like in the bad way. But for me, I found people who had the same type of music taste I had, which I didn't get in my immediate circle of people I'm around. And I made long-term friends with people I found. So I found a sense of community on social media. I have friends, genuine friends I've met on social media who are great people. And they've showed me a lot. They've taught me a lot. I also think social media is a good way of creativity. A lot of people on social media, they have a lot of creativity. And without social media being an outlet, they might have just been, might I say, even more depressed than they already are. You know? Because it gives people an outlet to be creative. When we go on TikTok and we see all these little skits and, stuff that make us laugh, that's a person expressing their creativity, whether it be for acting or for comedy, they're expressing their creativity. And for me, I do that. I make, I don't know if you guys will understand this, but I make Twitter headers and profile pictures for people, my friends. And it's a way of me expressing my creativity.
Nice.
And I just think that, and I also wanted to touch on, we brought up the serial killers type of stuff. And there's a documentary on Netflix called Don't Fuck with Cats. And basically, it's how people on the internet solved a serial killer mystery. This guy went on different dark web outlets and started posting pictures of him doing very disturbing stuff. And basically, this group of people found it, and they tracked down the person by photos that this person took.
Amazing.
Different places they were, and people be, I know where that place is. So they started tracking him down, and they found him. They end up catching him. So I think, like you guys said, if a serial killer, why do you think there's not any big serial killers now?
Anymore, yeah.
Because social media makes it quite impossible to do it. And you brought up the school shootings. The guy is dumb. Yep. He got caught right away. But if we didn't have social media, God knows how long this guy could have went on and did even more horrendous stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, you can look at the negatives all day long.
Yeah.
You can list them out. But I can list you out a whole lot of stuff we're not even seeing on the internet.
Yeah.
And they're probably even worse. So for me, I think, and maybe this is just the youngness in me, I think social media is what you want it to be. If you want it to be negative, it will be negative. If you want it to be positive, it'll be positive. It's just what you want it to be. And that's just my stance on that.
Wow, that's really
So
good.
good,
Yeah.
I like the points you brought out. I remember I followed another particular story where the girl and this boy went on a trip. Remember?
Yeah.
And they finally, so much pressure came on him with social media that he killed himself because he couldn't.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's not a good thing. That's not a good
It's
thing.
not a good thing, but I'm saying he was gonna be caught anyway.
Yeah.
He was doomed.
Now, I want to chime in on what V said as well, because I have a huge thing when it comes to calling someone I've never met physically and interacted with physically a friend.
Renee, they have people who get married.
Here's my thing. I can call them an acquaintance, but the terminology friend is an intimate terminology.
I beg to disagree.
And it's like I can, if you don't know who I am and you're asking me a question and you say, oh, this person gets me, but this person could get you because they're on the internet. Anything you need to know is on the internet. For example, let's say I'm talking about a specific topic, right? I'm talking about this specific topic. Now, I'm a complete psycho, I'm a complete maniac, all right? And I'm here just looking for vulnerable people. And I'm on the internet now, I'm on these social media sites, and now I see someone post something about this or the next. Like, okay, let me reply to this. And then from there, they reply back. And they're like, do you know about this specific topic? And I'm like, yeah, I know about this specific topic, but I don't know an earthly thing. I'm just a complete psychopath. But I look up this specific topic that you're referring to, and I could start talking like I know about this. And from there, we don't know what this person is. Now, I'm not saying that they're not genuinely good people there. It's just the terminology, friend, I personally have an issue with.
Thank you for being a friend. Listen, and when it's not a family.
There's a difference between a family and there's a difference between friends.
Well, for me is,
I could see where she's coming from.
No, I can, like I
For
said,
me-
I know they could be genuinely good people, but it's just the terminology I have an issue with.
what do you think a friend is?
Like me personally, I
Is
don't.
a friend somebody
No,
where
me
you could touch?
personally-
Is that
Me
something?
personally, I don't have friends. I'll be honest. In my life, I have family and I have acquaintance. That's it.
And that's where I'm
I don't
drawing
have
the line.
friends.
Friends with benefits.
I don't have friends. I have family and I have acquaintance. I don't have friends. So I'm like the wrong person to ask like what a friend is.
Okay, so this is my personal thing, but of course, when you go on social media, you have to be very careful of who you talk to and who you trust, right? So I didn't very much refer to these people as friends, I guess, until like a year of communication between these people. I've been friends with these people for going on 4 or 5 years. So I think by now they're friends to me. And yes, it's hard to trust people, but for me anyway, we've FaceTime, we've Skyped, we send pictures, we've done these things. So I know they're not behind there, some creepy old guy just being like, you know. But yes, you do have to be careful with who you talk to. That goes for anything. That goes for even in life person interactions. Because this person could be like, oh, I'm sane. You don't know that. Just because I'm seeing you doesn't mean that you're more real. People fake all the time. So I think either way, how you look at it, if you're in social media and if you're in life interactions, there's always the if. You don't know these people. You're just meeting this person.
You're building a relationship.
You're building a relationship. Of course, on social media, it's a little bit more easier to hide behind things, behind people. Of course, it's more easier. But I think, and I'll touch on cancel culture. I personally don't agree with cancel culture because a lot of the time, it's stuff from the past that people said, and people grow. People do change after a while, or are more aware, or aren't as ignorant as before. But cancel culture is, most of the time, is like people being just like Donald Trump. You guys brought that up. That man is downright racist, sexist, and just a plain old creep. That's just my opinion. You guys can have different opinions, but he is racist. We all know that by now. And that's why the internet canceled him, because he's racist,
And
right?
is he depressed about that?
What?
Is he depressed about that?
I don't think he is.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to, but it's just like, that's cancel culture. If you did something wrong, the cancel culture will not let you bury that. They'll be like, oh no, like you did this. Don't forget that you did this. You know? Yeah. Cancel culture is Amber Heard right now. That's the person who's being canceled right now, Amber Heard. But yes, there are toxic sides. Cancel culture is basically calling out what people did in the past or present. It doesn't matter. But it's getting a person's views that aren't really correct and are sometimes hateful.
Not morally correct.
Yeah,
or
morally
something
correct.
hateful, but they still have their right to their opinion.
They do, but it's just like, I think what cancel culture is like, keep your opinion to your fucking self. That's cancel culture.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is contradictive at its highest point.
If it's something that targets people,
Are you sure this is cancel culture? Or this is your perspective?
it's my if we can look up like
That
an
is what I
actual.
spoke about earlier. If you don't support
Because that's
status
basically
quo,
what cancel culture
What?
is. It's V's interpretation of cancel culture, but it's basically what it is.
Okay,
We don't agree with what you're saying.
So
We'll
then
get the hell.
you don't
We'll get
agree
rid of
with
you, and that is. Who makes you the authority
You don't agree
on
with
what?
me.
Well, that's why I
can
brought
say.
up the mob mentality.
Usually, it's the people who cancels the person are the people who are being targeted. So, for example, if a person is being racist towards African Americans, the African Americans have all right to cancel these people because they're the African
they
American.
have all right not to support that
Not to
person.
support the person.
But that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Like, this person is being.
So what I'm getting is, right, before there was ever this cancel culture, there were different celebrities that did certain stuff, and that you go like, all sponsors are being pulled, basically. So is that what cancel culture is, or are they just deciding fate at this point? If you say one slip,
This is the actual Wikipedia definition of cancel culture. Cancel culture is, or call out culture, is a contemporary phrase used to refer to a form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, whether it be online, on social media, or in person. Those subject to this ostracism are said to have been canceled. So that's the actual definition.
Did that happen to the friend lady too, Mr. Wilt?
no. As far as I know, Will Smith isn't cancelled, but because he didn't do anything racial. Like, I do see these people are being cancelled when there's something like that major, as in racism is involved, or sexism, or some kind of unfairness, basically, you know. So I don't think.
I will say,
Like you're being penalized.
I will say cancel culture was a big thing in like 2019, 2020, around that time period. It isn't really a big thing at this current time in.
I think it's picking up again, though. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about people are getting cancelled on different
I think
stuff.
now it's just used as a very like just a throw out word. They aren't really being canceled. I think now on social media that's actually become like a like something funny. Like, oh, I'm canceled. You know, it's something funny now.
It was good that you brought it up because that a new way.
I am new to this
It's always been, but
conversation.
It's always been there though, because like with sports, in sports we love to see an underdog, and then you turn a champion, and then when it's winning too much, we want you cancelled. We start booing you. I'm not gonna talk about basketball because the guys that I'm referring to, that's not happening to them yet. But in wrestling, they did it to my favorite wrestler, John Cena. They started to boo him because he was this pretty boy. He was the face of the WWE. You know, no, they never did it to the Undertaker. There were certain people that they did to them. But I can just tell you from my experience, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped watching WWE, because after he was my guy, you know. So after basically the mob, once again, the mob, as in the group of people that are paying you, entertain us, we're going to dictate now who we want to cancel. That's what I'm gathering from the whole thing, and it makes sense now, because I wanted to know how the hell that these people just one. I'm telling you, it was like this week we were cheering for the guy, Next week we're booing him. I don't know what the hell happened. But once again, if you're behind social media and you're following stories and stuff, you probably found out why he was, in my eyes, cancelled in the WWE. You know? And of course, you have to make way sometime for the new people, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they were booing
And he
him.
brought up a topic that I wanted him to explore more. You were saying something about Elon Musk buying over another platform just to get his own
He
way.
bought over Twitter, and what he did was Elon Musk is basically stating, you know what, social media has too much restrictions on it, and they're trying to stifle freedom. So he doesn't want anything to be blocked. You can say, do whatever you want. He says you're trying to stifle freedom of expression, speech, everything. So if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel, and we're gonna just leave it up there. We're not gonna block anything.
Is that good or bad in your opinion? Maybe that's
He's
something for another
also saying
topic,
that
right?
he's gonna, your account needs to be able to get linked back to you.
Yeah, because
But-
you can't make like random accounts.
Yeah, but you see, like for me, who's on, again, I will say words y'all probably don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm on Stan Twitter. If you guys don't know what Stan Twitter is.
I don't know who Stan is.
Stan Twitter is like, okay, so you guys would probably be on Stan Twitter if like you follow a group of people. So like you probably on Stan Twitter for basketball, right? Because you follow basketball, very heavily basketball,
Okay.
right? So I'm on Stan Twitter for BTS, K-pop,
Okay.
right? So I don't have my personal information on there. I just have very limited to K-pop. So what he's saying is those accounts will no longer be able to be up. It'll have to be my face, and be able to get linked
And I
back
agree
to
with that.
Facebook and stuff like
I
that.
agree with
I
that.
don't bel I don't
I
I
agree
don't
with
agree
it.
with that.
I agree with it.
I
Not,
don't
not,
agree with
not,
that.
not in the sense of
Because then
you
that's
be,
not-
in the
that's
sense
not
of
being
you
given
be,
people
because
the
you
option
don't
anymore.
do it. You just do it for entertainment and things of that sort and things that you enjoy. But there are people on there that are really doing
I
things
just-
that they shouldn't.
I just think it's like that's their rule. No, you know, and if
So
you
don't
can't,
say they're not having rules. They have rules.
that's why I know they're implementing different rules and stuff.
somebody monitoring.
I think the monitoring is just starting. If you think about it now, because like they say, everything has to link back to
This
one.
person's horn, because this person is you know, it's my personal opinion of him. I won't say it. So let's leave it as is, all right? But let's not start tooting his horn, all right? Let's leave it at that, you know, his thing is his thing. He's buying over Twitter and he's doing his thing with
All
it.
I'm saying is, if this becomes a thing on Twitter, if this becomes a thing on Twitter,
If you buy something for 44 billion, I think you can make your own rules.
Facebook almost obsolete except for the older people.
Can social media be cancelled at this point in any way?
It's like the internet. Social media is the internet.
It's here
You
for
can't
life,
really
right?
cancel
If
it.
you're
You're
sitting
gonna take
here,
away a whole generation revenue
if you're
stream.
sitting here thinking you can cancel social media or live without
So we have
social
to live
media,
with it.
you are fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself.
I can live without
I
social
dare you.
media.
I dare
can
you to
live
do
without
it.
social
I
media.
used to
I
live
can't
without
live without the internet, but I can live
That's
without
practically social
No,
media.
the internet, meaning like I can go and look up my information.
You have to go to a website to do that.
Yeah, but not a platform. Not a platform.
I don't have a platform.
I'm talking about just the information,
So you
the raw
can
information.
sit here and delete Facebook, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
all of that
Yeah.
off your phone. That's
Yeah.
including games.
Yeah.
Games are social
don't have
media.
Facebook.
No, not online games. Like regular games. I
Online
can play.
is-
That's
is
why
a
I'm not
social
like
media.
the regular games, not the online games. Yeah.
we're straying away.
I'm just saying.
So,
That's another topic. That's another
That's
night.
another topic. We can bring it up.
Wrap up.
Well, guys, I really like, the different aspects. We're wrapping up. So, does anyone have any final thoughts on social media?
I think it stems right back to what I said when we opened the episode. Like, social media is basically what you make it. Like, there is pros and cons. If you choose to look at the pros more than the cons, if you choose to look at the cons more than the pros, if you choose to do negative with it or you choose to do positive with it, it's just a tool out there, and it becomes either negative or positive depending on how you want to use it.
Yeah. All right.
So great. Okay, for me too. It's how you're gonna be using it that will make you or break you.
Yeah.
And so, I for one, I don't have much platform. I don't. I am tonight. I must tell you, I am grateful for the verbatim that was introduced here, and the different platforms that I got to know, and the different way of of what these platforms, what they do, and I appreciate the knowledge and the information. But I, for one, I am strictly just sharing the good news, and I do not embrace anything else. Anything with the cult, I try not to listen to.
And we're
or
from
embrace.
from different generations as well, right? Like Gen Z and
About
Much older.
4 of us fall in the same generation.
Yeah, Jay, Renee, Ray, and Victor fall into millennials. My mom
Baby boomer.
is a boomer, and I'm a Gen Z.
yeah. So everyone got different aspects of the different generation.
Just my final thoughts on the whole thing. I think it's. I'll just share this before we finish. I work in the media, so I learned about editing and videoing on my own. I had to learn everything hands-on. My time, we didn't have Wi-Fi, the speed that we have to watch different videos and stuff, and you couldn't learn at the pace that this generation can learn now. I'm meeting kids about like 16 to 18 to 19, and they're already at my level, and it sucks because now they can they can basically take over my field of work. But a wise guy, Rene, once said that you can do the work that I do, but you can't do it like the way I do it, Yeah. So if there's any word that Rene ever said to me that stuck, it was that one. And I take that with a grain of salt also, because then the work, they would give the guy a shot because he's younger, So he can probably learn more. So and why I'm getting at, he's learning through YouTube. He's learning through different social media platforms about these different techniques and stuff that people like me, we probably developed, and he saw it, and he didn't have to go through that problem solving, or he didn't have to figure that out himself, right? So that's why that would be a con for me, but at the same time, I see it as a pro for the other people. I mean, they can actually get a career off the ground very quicker than I could ever do it. So,
Yeah, because I've heard people actually say that, like when they're like, I wonder how to build something, like, just look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I've
So
seen
everything
people say
is
that.
on there now. I have to stay with the pro. Like I'm on like the more. I look at the more pro. Of course, there's cons, and that's why I say it comes to what you get to know yourself, know the different things that you like and the different things that you want to see and follow. And there's always the unfollow button, and there's also the not interested button. So get friendly with those things if you can't stand a certain thing that you see.
Ray, you have any last final thoughts?
I miss the era of cat videos.
For me, I will stick by my point. I think social media is what you make it out to be. I'm very much Gen Z in the way that I grew up on internet or on social media in a way, seeing all these stuff. And I know Victor mentioned it about people learning stuff, and I'm one of those people. I didn't have the highest level of education, but I'm not sitting here, in lack of better words, dumb. I can have a conversation with people, and I think it's because I picked up a lot of stuff on social media, and it's the truth.
Welcome to the generation.
So I think right now, I will not sit here and I will not lie to you. I cannot say I can ever go back to a time where I can't be on social media. I'm not going to sit here and say that. And if anybody says it, I'm sorry, I'm going to call you cap. No, it's a lie.
I can bet money that I can do it.
I give you like.
Either we do a part 2, but
Okay, that's my final thought. Social media is what you make it. I don't see anything changing anytime soon.
Okay, well, thank you guys for all your sharing. And the irony about this episode is we would like for everyone who's listening to our podcast to like and share our pages, and subscribe, on YouTube. We're going to be on all social media, And if you guys have any thoughts on it, you please comment, we're going to listen to it. And if we do a part 2 on this,
I'm on the podcast that's on social media. I'm not on social media.
yeah, so like if you guys have anything to say about this topic or any of the other topics you're going to listen to, comment. And maybe if we do like a part 2 on any of the episodes, we can, talk about one of your opinions on it, So thank you for listening to us, So I'm signing off, Jay.
Mar.
Renee.
The pessimist Rick.
Victor AKQ.
Only Gen Z. V.
All right, thank you guys.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe to the 501 Social Podcast. Follow us on our various platforms. Thanks.